Hi, I'm Maggie,
I'm Dan.
and we started with the equation y equals x squared minus 25 divided by x squared minus 4x minus 5. We factored that out and got x plus 5 and x minus 5 for the numerator, and x plus 1 and x minus 5 for the denominator. And since we have x minus 5 in the numerator and the denominator, we could cross those out because they cancel out. So our equation is x plus 5 and for the numerator and x plus 1 for the denominator. In our domain, we have all reals except for -1. And then for the x-intercepts, we have 5, because when you set the numerator equal to 0, it's x plus 5 equals 0. So it would be -5. B, we have the y-intercept, and we plugged in 0 in the equation, and we got 0 squared minus 25 divided by 0 squared minus 4 times 5 minus 4 times 0 minus 5. We got -25 over -5, and then we got 5.
And then for C, we're looking for the vertical asymptote, and the vertical asymptote is that x is equal to -1, and that's because you can't have 0 in the denominator of the graph, that's where it's undefined, and the denominator is at 0 when x is -1. And then there's a hole in the graph at 5 because there's an x minus 5 and there's an x minus 5 in the numerator and x minus 5 in the denominator. And when you set x minus 5 equal to 0, you get 5, and that's where the hole in the graph is at. And then E is a horizontal asymptote, and the horizontal asymptote is 1 because since the numerator and the denominator have the same degree, and you can see that right here, that there's one x in the numerator and one x in the denominator, and both the leading coefficients are 1. That means that the horizontal asymptote is going to be at 1. And here's the graph. You can see where there's a 0 at -5, and that's because we had x plus 5 in the denominator, in the numerator. Sorry, you can see that right here. And then you can see where there's a y-intercept at 0, 5, and then you can also see where the hole is at 5, 0, and that's just because, like I said earlier, there was x minus 5 in the numerator and the denominator, and then there's a horizontal asymptote, and then there's a whole view of the graph.
And the vertical asymptote is at x equals